Today is the day President Donald Trump is being impeached. We've been talking to Democrats and Republicans in Congress as they cast their historic votes. They can't agree on any of the facts, but there's one thing that both sides are saying. This is a sad moment for the country.
When I think about when I ran for Congress, I didn't run for Congress to impeach the president. I ran for Congress to fight gun violence and to fight for health care and try to lower the cost of prescription drugs and public education. But the times have found us.
I think it's a sad moment for the country, but I think it's also one that as we look back on, we will recognize it for what it is, and it's politics. This is not an impeachment process meant to mete out justice. It's really a process designed to get a political result. That will backfire. I can tell you that most Americans are fed up with it. Congress has the approval rating of a cockroach.
It's very sad, and this is a moment when we should be unified, in defending our democracy, which is far more fragile than we ever imagined it was.
Well, I think it's going to end up being a stain on the history of the House that we held this vote, honestly. It's a sad day to have an impeachment hearing on the thinnest thread of rumors and ill will. No crimes, no misdemeanors, just bad feelings. So I think that history will judge us harshly on this.
Both sides do feel, and I think inherently understand that this kind of thing is not good for the country. Now, the difference is we think not only is it not good, but we shouldn't be going through it. The Democrats think that it's their responsibility to impeach the president.
Now, the president has characterized his behavior here as perfect. Do you think there's anything that he's done wrong in the course of his dealings with Ukraine?
Listen, everybody can criticize someone for what they think that they should say or not say.
I think the best witness that we have in this case is the President of the United States himself. If you read the call record, and then look at him standing on the White House lawn, then doubling down, inviting Ukraine. If they're serious, I think you should investigate the Bidens, and then also inviting China to interfere in our elections.
I wouldn't necessarily advise the president to talk under these circumstances as they did, but that doesn't make these things impeachable. And so we're just putting our country, I think, through a great deal of turmoil unnecessarily.
My Republican colleagues can refuse to listen to evidence. They can put their head in the sand. But we all come here. We come to cast a vote. This is a vote of conscience. My conscience dictates that I need to uphold the oath of office that I took, to uphold the Constitution and the pillars of our democracy.
We saw this really extraordinary letter from the president to Speaker Pelosi yesterday. What did you think of that letter, and particularly his argument that he's getting less due process than we saw in the Salem witch trials?
You know, I'm seldom speechless. Let me just respond to you this way, because I read the letter. Pray for our nation.
He said he's getting less due process than we saw in the Salem witch trials, where people were actually burned at the stake. Do you think that's a fair argument?
Well, you know, it's a great metaphor, because he isn't getting due process. He didn't get it in the secret hearings in the skiff down underneath the Capitol, and he didn't get the due process in the Judiciary Committee either.
Democracy doesn't happen on its own, and it will die very quickly if we don't fight for it. And so I'm asking Americans to help us fight for it.